All right, let's get right into it. For so long, we've all looked at web forms as this chore, right? Something you just have to passively fill out. But what if you could completely flip that on its head? What if, instead of just filling forms, you could actually command them?
I mean, it's a real question, isn't it? If you're someone who spends any serious time online doing data entry, I'm willing to bet you've felt this pain. You know the drill. You grab a new tool, it promises the world, it works on maybe half the sites you need it to, and then for the rest, you're right back to the good old copy and paste. The idea is always great, but man, the reality just doesn't quite live up to it. So to really get what we're talking about here, you got to see the huge difference. On one hand, you've got your standard autofill. It's pretty passive. It sees a box that says first name, and it just tries its best to put a first name in there. But on the other hand, we're talking about an intelligent command center for your data. Think of it this way. You're not a passenger anymore, you're the pilot. You're the one telling the tool exactly what to do, how to do it, and when. And that leads us right into the first big idea. Look, this isn't about saving you like 2 seconds when you log into your email. We're talking about something built from the ground up for the pros, the people who are literally filling out forms for a living. And let me just be super clear about this, because this is really the heart of it all. What we're looking at here, it's trying to carve out a whole new category for itself. This isn't just a slightly better version of your browser's autofill. No way. It's a completely different animal. So you might be asking, who exactly is this for? Well, it's laser focused on a few key groups of power users. First up, e-commerce sellers. Think dropshippers, Amazon FBA folks, people who are just drowning in product and shipping forms day in and day out. Then you've got your data entry professionals, where every single second and every keystroke counts. And really, it's for any high-volume user who gets that saving hours on boring, repetitive work isn't just nice, it's a huge leg up on the competition. Okay, so this leads us to the really cool part. This is where that whole command center idea goes from being a concept to something real and powerful. It all comes down to one thing: giving you total, and I mean total, control through customization. So how does it pull this off? Well, it's built on 3 key pillars. First, you can create custom rules for any website you use. Second, and this is wild, you can use simple, plain English prompts to tell the AI exactly what you want. And third, there's a feature for one-click clipboard filling that can smartly unpack a whole block of text you've copied and put everything in the right place. Here's a perfect example of what I mean by prompts. Just imagine this command. Now, think about it. If you're a dropshipper and you're placing hundreds of orders a day, the last thing you want is to accidentally use a discount code that was meant for your customers. A simple little rule like this one makes sure that mistake never happens. See? It's not just about filling stuff in. It's about strategically preventing mistakes. Or how about this one? Oh my gosh, how many times have you been on a website that's super picky about how you format a phone number? It's so frustrating. Well, with a command like this, you just set it once and boom, your data is always in the right format every single time. No more error messages, no more retyping. And check this last one out, because it really shows off the surgical precision we're talking about. You're not just, spraying all your data onto the page and hoping for the best. Nope. You're telling the AI, hey, just fill in this box and that box and just ignore everything else. That's a level of pinpoint control that your average tool it can't even dream of doing that. Okay, so that all sounds pretty great, right? Giving it commands. But I know what you're thinking. How on earth does it actually work on every website, especially those really weird, stubborn ones that break everything? Well, that gets us into the tech, the secret sauce behind all this precision. So what's with the big number 5? Well, this right here, this is the key to the whole thing. This is the reason this tool can actually work where pretty much everything else just throws its hands up and quits. That 5, it stands for the 5-engine AI core. Now, think of it like a team of 5 specialists. They have 5 totally different ways of tackling a problem. So if the first AI engine looks at a form and gets confused, it doesn't just fail. It automatically passes the job to the next engine in line. It's like having a built-in backup plan and a backup for the backup plan. So let's quickly walk through them. Engine 1 is your standard AI. It reads the website's code, and honestly, that handles like 90% of the web right there. But if that doesn't work, no problem. Engine 2 kicks in. The visual AI. This one literally looks at the page, the same way you do. Still stuck? Engine 3 is text selection, where you can guide it precisely. For the absolute worst of the worst forms, Engine 4 can take a screenshot and map it out. And finally, Engine 5. That one's a highly specialized pro, fine-tuned specifically for the beautiful mess that is Amazon Seller Central. So when you put all of that tech together, what you end up with is something that's, well, it's way more than just a form filler, right? It's really the foundation of a whole new way to work, a complete productivity tool that actually changes how you deal with data on the web. But here's a question that usually stumps every digital tool out there. What about the data that doesn't start on your computer? I'm talking about stuff on paper, a scanned invoice, a PDF someone emailed you, or maybe even a handwritten note from a customer. What do you do with that? Well, check this out. The latest version has the answer. You can now feed it an image, a JPG, a PDF, whatever, and it will actually read the data off of it and then use that info to fill out a web form. This is a total game changer because it finally bridges that gap between your physical paperwork and your digital workflow. And the cool features don't even stop there. It also has a secure address book so you can easily manage a bunch of different profiles, maybe one for home, one for work, or different ones for all your clients. Plus, get this, it has an AI content generator built right in. So it can actually help you write things like product descriptions or customer support replies right there in the text box. All right, so we've gone through a ton of features here. Let's kind of pull back and bring it all together. What's the big takeaway? Why does this whole shift from filling to commanding actually matter to you? It really comes down to three main things. First, you're saving a ton of time and effort. We're talking hours, not just a few seconds here and there. Second, you get this incredible level of customization, so you can make the web work for you, not the other way around. And third, it just works. Thanks to that 5-engine AI core, you get amazing compatibility, even on sites where other tools just fail. And really, this is the core idea I want to leave you with. It's a simple thought, but it's a huge shift in how we think about this stuff. For anyone who deals with data professionally, the goal isn't just to fill in the boxes a little bit faster anymore. The new standard, the new goal, is to take complete intelligent control of the whole process. So the real question is, what else in our digital lives are we just passively filling when we should be commanding?